What's going on, guys? Skylord Studios 005 back here again, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Lego Icons Boutique Hotel set. This set retails for about $230 and is about to be discontinued at the end of the year, so if you're going to pick it up, you should probably do that soon. I got mine on Prime Day when it was on sale for about $160 or $170, so this is the first time I'm actually reviewing a Lego set on this channel, and it's kind of... I like to review more of the modular stuff. The reason why this video was delayed was basically the day that I was going to finish the filming. My table collapsed and it forced me to rebuild all of it, as well as some other sets that had all fallen apart. But for the focus of this video, this set for the most part looks done. I mean, there's a few flowers missing from like around here, but it's small detailing. So to start out, I'm going to start out here and go kind of section by section, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so first off, we're going to start off with the inside of the fine art store. So if I zoom in here, you can see it's got a few different little art pieces. It's got a window back here. I don't think this is one of the ones that opens. Got a little modern art painting here. And then the inside here, this is the original creator expert logo that they turned into like a little statue. That just kind of plugs in there, and we got some more modern art. And then I have placed the minifigures kind of randomly throughout the set. So the first one we have is the... Now, I don't know if this is supposed to be an art gallery or an art store, but we have, I believe, who's supposed to be running it. It's very difficult for me to take them out and then put them back in, so I'm just going to leave them there. There's no dual-sided face, which I guess makes sense. It's kind of just a generic citizen. So yeah, and then it's kind of difficult for you guys to see, but there is another piece of modern art there. Then out front you have kind of like the blue awning, a fire hydrant, got a blue door with some windows, opens and closes. And yeah, leading up to it, over here you can see there's some more art as well as down here. I really like how they did the stairs here. I think it looks nice, as well as the little kind of archway up here. They use some nice like pieces to pull that off, like a crowbar for a little hand railing. And then sliding the roof back on, you can see the top, which has this large palm tree, which I've seen a lot of like discourse about. A lot of people don't like it. I think it looks fine. It's not too big of a deal. I like to have the leaves arched so it looks more realistic. But back there you can see there's a bar, and there's another minifigure there. I'll try to get a better angle. My biggest issue with this part of the set is that these chairs that are supposed to be like just for sitting outside and eating are very high off the ground and not like realistic proportions. So we look over here. There's some wall with some plants growing. We've got a few glasses, and there's another chair there. But I'm gonna try to get a good angle to see, so you guys can see the minifigure. All right, so moving the tree out of the way, you can see it's just kind of a standard citizen with a bowler cap. I think it looks fine. The tree's kind of made up of these crown pieces, which looks nice. But yeah, so moving on to the exterior of the first floor, or the other side of the exterior, you can see it keeps all the modular sidewalks, so that it will be uniform whenever you connect it to other modulars. There's a fire hydrant here. One thing to note is there's this like little diamond pattern here for like the entrance to the hotel. And then out here we do have a kiosk with a coffee vendor minifigure. This is one of the few that's actually easy to access. And the kiosk is just kind of a simple build, but it adds a touch of color outside, especially when it's a very kind of almost pale colored, like pale pink and pale olive colored. So yeah, but looking at the exterior of the hotel, very vintage French themed. We got another minifigure here that comes with a camera and backpack accessory. So I do believe this is one of the few with the two faces. So it comes with the camera and the backpack, so that's nice. And they can just kind of stand out on the balcony. And this does connect to a room, which we will get to eventually. But it does come with a little street light, which I think is a nice little touch. So we're going to go from level 1 and just go up all the way till we get to the roof. So looking at the door, or the main entrance for the hotel, you can see there's a sign. Building the sign has given me, like, I personally have issue with it because it's not very well attached. And on top of all that, it just falls off relatively easily. But it does look fine for what it's trying to do. Now, the door is clear, has a little gun piece for the handle, and you can't really see inside because it's dark. But just the nice plants outside add some color to it. And yeah, there's some flags up here on floor 2. They can be kind of moved around. But without further ado, let's get into floor 1. Alrighty, so floor 1, it kind of detaches. You have these like little studs here. So it is easy to detach and reattach them. Looking further into floor 1, you have some nice diamond patterning in there. There's some studs that you can pose minifigures around. Back here, I stored the little luggage cart, and there's some more modern art back here. If I move over here, there's a desk with a phone. Looks nice. There's some plants next to it. I put a few other minifigures here. And so the weird thing is this one piece with like all those keys right there, that does not stably fit inside. So the other side of that is that modern art painting. But the thing is, you have to attach it very oddly. So it's like always kind of angled. But if you don't really think too much about it, it looks fine. I really like how they did the stairs here. They're all tiled off, except for maybe like 1 or 2, so you can pose minifigures like down there. The railing looks nice, achieved by, I think, are those the whip pieces at the end? So those look nice, and they just kind of go up to level 2. And yeah, so moving on, we will get into level 2. Alrighty, so level 2 has 2 different rooms, and you'll notice that the stairwell does continue up over here. The rooms have brown doors, and then we have like this really small room, which I'll try to get a good angle of so you guys can see it. So I think that's the best we've got to work with so far. It has like a little, I think this is supposed to be a table. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. Comes with a well-built dresser. Comes with a bed, and small nightstand, and a little rug. Again, very small room, but there is access to the stairs. You can kind of almost see where the stairs connect. But moving on to the bigger room, there's the door over here. And I mentioned that that window in the art gallery didn't open, but for the most part, these windows just open. So that is a nice little detail. You have kind of a vintage typewriter over here, as well as a green bed. And also, this smaller room does have the attachment to the balcony, so the minifigure's kind of standing in the way, but you can kind of just push the door open, and you'll see that it does just connect right there. So it is nice that the smaller room does have like something extra compared to the bigger room. Also, back here, you can see that there is another dresser back here. So yeah, but moving on to the 3rd and final floor is the biggest hotel room. So let's see. All right, so the 3rd and final level is all one room. I do believe this is the first bathroom. So yeah, it does come with a bath and 2 showers, or not 2 showers, 2 shampoos. One can be shampoo, one can be conditioner. Does come with a little bottle here, and this is the door for the stairs. Does come with a really nicely built dresser. There is a little... Okay, this is a standard chair. I forgot to mention that down in the floor below it, floor below it, it did have a little chair that rotated. But there's a larger bed, another dresser here. I think this is supposed to be a TV, and a lamp. So, yeah. But this is probably the biggest part. And now, moving on to the roof. It is kind of generic. Does have 2 vents up here and this little window. They can be opened up and closed. The dome does look really nice. It's a nice little touch. rather than having it be one of these modern buildings with just a flat roof. So yeah, there's not really much to say about the roof. There's some railing up here that looks nice. They used some snake pieces to achieve it, which I thought was a cool addition. But this can be attached to other modulars building out this way, or even building out this way. I probably myself would probably build out from here over, just because it looks more complete than, say, building it out this way where there's kind of like that weird gap. Also, there is a dumpster back here. It does have a little white croissant in it. So yeah, but what are my overall thoughts on the set? I think if you are getting into Lego City modular building, I do think this is definitely worth picking up, especially if you can get it on sale now that it's retiring. Like I did. I got mine again for like $160 or $170 from Prime Day. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If this is something that you guys would like to see more of, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments that you want to see more Lego reviews, because there are other sets that I have not reviewed that I can do reviews on. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.